What's up, guys? Today we're talking Marvel Rivals. Today we're going to be talking about the 1.5 patch that just came out with the Human Torch, the Thing, and the new map Central Park. But if you want more details on those, I'm pretty sure your favorite Marvel Rivals content creator most likely made a video about that already. I'm probably going to be making an in-depth video about those two characters, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, while the patch just came out, I want to talk about the winners and the losers of this patch. Now, with this being a mid-season patch, I know there aren't a lot of standout losers or winners, considering this is a mid-season patch, and historically with mid-season patches in video games, they aren't really meta-changing balance patches. Nonetheless, I'm going to give you what I think are the top 3 winners and losers of this patch. As always, guys, if you learned something new or you just want to give support, please leave a like. I will really appreciate it. And if you want to see more Marvel Rivals related content, please subscribe. I will be posting follow-up videos about the 1.5 patch and everything that comes out later on. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. To start off with the third biggest loser of the 1.5 patch, we're starting off with Iron Man. Now, Iron Man did not get nerfed that hard. Honestly, they buffed both his uni beams in his normal state, but if you don't play Iron Man that much, you'll barely realize the change. But they nerfed his Gamma Overdrive Unibeam from his team up with Hulk. This was most likely to make him feel less oppressive. They did these light nerfs to everyone in that Gamma team up trio. You know, they nerfed both the max healths for Hulk and Strange, but they did this to make them feel less oppressive because they're the most oppressive team up in the game. And Hulk is the most banned hero behind Wolverine, specifically because people don't want to deal with it. Now, even though these nerfs are very, very, very minuscule, out of the 3, I believe Iron Man got it the worst out of the 3, so that's why I'm putting him here. Now going on to the third biggest winner, I have Captain America. Captain America has always felt weird to play, even if you were good with him, but now, even though he didn't get a significant buff, he got nice quality of life buffs that honestly he should have had since the beginning. But it's nice considering they make him feel less of a hassle to play now. First, they finally gave him the ability to hold his shield while leaping in the air, making him less vulnerable in the air. Also, they buffed his Vibranium Energy Saw. They buffed it by increasing the projectile speed and the ricocheting speed, which in my experience playing Captain America has made the move less reactable and harder for the enemy to predict. They also reduced the amount of energy he needs to acquire his ultimate from 3100 to 2800, which is great considering his ultimate is kind of an underrated ultimate. Not broken like the specialist ultimates, where they virtually have God mode on, but it's still a really nice ultimate that he should be able to utilize more often. And finally, this last quality of life buff that he should have had is him being able to alternate between his Sentinel Strike and his normal melee. For those who don't know, when Captain America successfully hits an opponent, a sort of gauge goes up which charges up his Sentinel Strike. Once full for 5 seconds, he can throw his shield a certain number of times within those 5 seconds. However, before this patch, when he charged up his Sentinel Strike, he can only use the Sentinel Strike and not his melee, making someone like Strange or Magneto easily able to counter this because they have shields, and the shields that Captain America throws count as a projectile. Now, anytime that he acquires Sentinel Strike, he can still do the normal melee attacks and use the Sentinel Strikes, so he can alternate between the two in case, as I said, a Strange or a Magneto ends up putting up their shield, or if he just doesn't even want to use the Sentinel Strike because he's so close range he doesn't need to. However, this timer still does go down even if you don't use it at all, but it's a nice quality of life change regardless. Back to the losers. In second place is a 3-way tie between Luna Snow, Invisible Woman, and Loki. I made it a 3-way tie instead of only one of them because they all got the same nerf, which was an increase to energy cost needed to get their ultimates. Now, they did this because it was in response to the triple support strategy that has been plaguing the game for the past couple months. They did not want to touch the ultimates themselves because they still wanted the triple support strategy to stay. They didn't want to completely kill it, but they wanted to suppress it and make it more palatable so people wouldn't be as upset about it, and that specialists wouldn't be getting it every 10 seconds. Now, in my opinion, there should be more characters like Magneto who can directly counter these ultimates, but they have a plethora of characters from the Marvel IP to choose from, so I'm not really pressed about giving it to certain characters that are already on the roster, but giving it to new characters. So we have a whole lineup of new characters whose ultimates could specifically counter specialist ultimates like Invisible Woman and Luna Snow. But we just have to look for the future for that. On to the second biggest winner of this patch is Storm. Now, if you've read the patch notes, you must be thinking I'm on something, because your eyes are not deceiving you. She got nerfed. She definitely got nerfed. She did not technically get nerfed. She did not metaphorically get nerfed. She got nerfed. But the reason I'm putting her here as the second biggest winner is not because of what it says in the patch notes, but because of what was added because of this patch. With this patch, there's a new character, the Human Torch, Johnny Storm. And with him, he came with a new team-up ability that he and Storm can use. When Human Torch uses his ultimate, he can throw infernos on the ground that do damage to enemies with it. That's tame, that's fine by itself, right? However, pair this with Storm's ultimate, it turns Storm's ultimate into a mobile destructive inferno. It increases the damage of her ultimate, and the timer goes up for her ultimate when she either instantly teleports to the inferno, or every time she goes through one of Human Torch's infernos, it increases by 2 seconds, making it effectively an over 12-second ultimate that does way more damage than it initially should be doing. So if you weren't already banning Storm for some odd reason, unless you're not in Diamond and above, you need to ban Storm now. You have more of an incentive to, because all of the nerfs they just gave her are minuscule. If you were already banning Storm and you wanted a reason to ban someone else, I hope this video has helped you realize that that is a completely dumb idea, because Storm always needs to be banned. Now onto the biggest loser of this patch. The biggest loser of this patch is Cloak and Dagger. Now Cloak did get a slight buff to his Terror Cape, so you can do more damage when you hit someone with it. However, it's Cloak and Dagger's ultimate that I'm specifically talking about. For one, like the other specialists I mentioned, Cloak and Dagger received an energy cost increase from their ultimate. Specifically for her, it was from 3,400 to 4,000. But the reason why she's not with them and that she's number one is because of what they also did to her ultimate. So in addition to the ultimate cost change, they shortened the time of the ultimate from 10 seconds to 8 seconds, keeping it in line with other defensive ultimates, which are 8 seconds, except for Luna's, which for some reason is still 12 seconds long. But back to Cloak and Dagger. They did slightly increase how much people heal in your path per second, and reduced the pause time in between segments, so a Magneto can't necessarily counter you. He has to actually aim, and it's harder for him to counter you. But in exchange for this, the paths from their ultimate no longer stack, meaning that when a Cloak and Dagger would usually do it, they were able to stack the paths, which did 220 healing per path on top of each other. So you would essentially be healing so much that you were basically invincible. You were basically invincible because each stack would be doing 220 per second. So you just, the ticks would just keep going and going and going. However, this stack does not exist anymore, and every time we go through a path, it all does the same 250 now, because they buffed it now. It's not 220 anymore, it's 250. It's 250 per healing, so you're still invincible, but you're a little more vincible. Now, even though she's the number one loser in this patch, I still feel like she's in a really good spot, and I have to appreciate how the devs made her less annoying without nerfing her to the ground or buffing someone an ungodly amount just to counter her. So I feel like she's in a right spot right now. Now the number one winner of patch 1.5 of Marvel Rivals is Iron Fist. Iron Fist received a lot of tweaks to his kit that overall makes him feel like a better character. Now, they did slightly nerf how much damage his regular M1 strikes do, but besides that, it's straight buffs from here. Now, for one, they increased his HP from 250 to a staggering 300, and they made Harmony Recovery. They gave it 150 plus bonus health. giving him a guaranteed 450 health when he gets into a fight, increasing his survivability. They also increased the bonus health he gets from Dragon's Defense from 150 to 200, which also helps with his survivability. Added on top of that, they made it so his flurry of punches do percentage damage. For those who don't understand, the more HP you have, the more damage Iron Fist does. Before, Iron Fist had difficulty killing a Vanguard. However, now, he can kill a Groot in just one combo. This percentage damage also applies to his ultimate. Now, with these changes to his survivability and the percentage damage, Iron Fist has become a hard-struck assassin-type duelist to a potential tank buster like Wolverine. He definitely needs a little more buffs, and I think he'll be in a good spot, specifically with his ultimate, but everyone should be in a happy place knowing that Iron Fist is actually a valid pick now, and Iron Fist main should be eating this patch. Anyway guys, that's all I had for you for this video. If you guys like this, as I said, leave a like and support me. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll probably be making the next video pretty soon. I'm probably gonna make my video first on the Thing. I have been playing him a lot, and I really do like his kit, so I will be giving a full in-depth video about him pretty soon, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.